The word of the day for today, January 9th, 2022, is tchotchke. Tchotchke. It's a noun meaning an inexpensive souvenir, trinket, or ornament. Where I'm from, we say tchotchke, but tchotchke, I guess, is, according to dictionary.com, that is the pronunciation. And I'm glad I checked. I didn't just assume I knew what was going on. The examples that they use on dictionary.com are just fine. They give you a basic idea of how to use it. The origin was super interesting to me because it gets into reduplicated syllables, which I had never heard of, and a connection to baby talk, as well as cognates in languages that I don't often think about. And tchotchke to me is useful in life. Attending to tchotchkes, because people choose to surround themselves with, in their homes and in their spaces, different. My fantastical way of putting it is talismans of identity. Let's see if I can think of one of my own. A little bit harder to think of your own. Because it's a bit subconscious, but French things. I like France. So I don't happen to have a little statue of the Eiffel Tower, but it's the kind of thing. If I had tchotchkes, I would have an Eiffel Tower one. Luckily, that tchotchke lives in my heart. A little Eiffel Tower in my heart already, so I don't need the tchotchke. It's always there. Towering inside my heart is France. But that's the kind of thing you would find. And I think of tchotchkes, I'm leaning heavily on the souvenir part of the definition, but you can also see them as, when we interact with each other, these are like icons that you would put on a shrine or an altar, right? That's a practice, right? Having figures, religious figures on your altar or on your shrine as a part of your memory process, as a part of your honoring process and your worship process and your meditations. And so in life, noticing the tchotchkes that people keep around and talking to them about them, asking about them, connecting with them through them, right? These are the talismans of identity, these icons that they've put in their own shrine, their shrine to themselves, or their shrine of themselves, or their aspirational self, right? Like, I don't go to France. I've only gone to France a couple times, but I would have, if I were more of a tchotchke person, I would keep more of these things around, and that you would not necessarily get an idea like who I am, but who I aspire to be, my aspirational life. And so super valuable to talk to people about. Also, when you're writing, you can use tchotchkes as a way to characterize a character indirectly, which apparently I'm obsessed with this week. And that can be used to inform your protagonist about the character that they're interacting with, both through observation. Your protagonist just observes the tchotchkes, thinks about them, talks about them, makes assumptions. You could have them make the wrong assumptions if you wanted to, or they can ask about them. Maybe you've got a protagonist who is uncomfortable with social interaction, but who is observant. That's a good combo for a character. And so, therefore, they ask about the tchotchkes, and they end up learning things about the character they're with that they otherwise might not. That other characters, other than the protagonist, might not, because they don't have that kind of like not antisocial, but like they don't have that nervousness about interacting that would drive them to make observations and then reach for anything to talk about, right? So you can also use tchotchkes in writing to inform your readers about a character without revealing that information to the protagonist, so that later on You're, something related to something related to the things that the tchotchkes represent comes up. Your audience will have an idea of how the character who's connected to those tchotchkes will react or act, but your protagonist or whoever doesn't. And so, right, you're setting up an opportunity for irony that way, right, where one person knows what others don't, so they know what's happening, that kind of thing. That's some technical irony. So yeah, useful in life to connect with people through the things that they put, the icons of and talismans of identity that they put into their shrine of themselves. And for writing, for creative writing, it's a way to provide some characterization of your characters and create opportunities for irony. Tchotchke, or tchotchka, I should say.